This video is about 10 new things I did at Walt Disney World in 2023. Hey y'all, I'm Tiffany, and when I went to Disney this year, I had a goal to do 10 new things. Some of these things are things that are new to Disney in 2023, and some of them are just things that are new to me. But I am so excited to get to share these experiences with you. So the first thing I want to talk about is food. New food that I tried this year. When I am rating food on a Walt Disney World vacation, there are 3 things that go into this for me. Of course, the actual quality and taste of the food, the experience that I have while having the dinner, and how much I crave the food when I'm not at Disney World. I mean, there are some places that I just crave when I am not there, like Chef Art Smith or Gideon's. There's some restaurants that I may not go to just for the actual food, like Space 220. I go to that more for the experience. Now, these 3 restaurants I'm about to talk about are on the pricier side for me. When I went to them, dining plans were not available, so my opinion would change if I was using the dining plan and paying for them out of credits rather than paying for them just straight out of pocket. The first one is Roundup Rodeo. This Toy Story themed restaurant opened this past March. It is an all-you-can-eat meal, and it runs you at $45 a person per adult and $25 a person for child at time of filming this. Fittingly, it is located in Toy Story Land and Hollywood Studios. And if you're familiar with Toy Story Land, you are in Andy's backyard, and this is a restaurant that Andy had made for his toys. It is a very immersive experience, but it is not a character dining experience. Some fun things that happen at the restaurant is they announce when Andy's coming, so everyone has to freeze because you're toys. And also they have these little horse pogo sticks that you can ride in on. It is all you care to enjoy barbecue. I really enjoyed the smoked ribs and the chicken wings. You can choose from different desserts. I got the Forky cupcake. This will be 1 table service credit on the dining plan. Now, I enjoyed this restaurant and I did think it was a lot of fun. I think it would have been better had it been a character meal. The next place I'm going to talk about is Ohana. This is an extremely popular, extremely hard to get Disney reservation. I have wanted to eat here for a while, but it's very expensive. So this year, actually, me and my husband put together the money we'd receive for our anniversary, and this was kind of our anniversary dinner months later. Ohana will run you $40 per child and $62 per adult. This is located in the Polynesian resort, and it is an all-you-care-to-enjoy meal. This is not a character meal. One highlight, though, is if you can sit near the window during the fireworks, you can watch the fireworks from Ohana, but that's something that is not guaranteed. Some of the highlights on the menu to me were the noodles and the chicken wings. Now, don't get me wrong, the food at Ohana was good. It was really good. But I have trouble eating that much food to get my money's worth out of it. Another thing a lot of people go to Ohana for is the bread pudding. I am not a fan of bread pudding. One tip I have, and probably what I will do in the future, is if you're craving those Ohana noodles or those chicken wings, you can go to the Tambu Lounge, which is right beside Ohana, and you can order them off of the secret menu and just pay for 1 serving of them. The last meal I'm going to talk about was Storybook Dining. This was probably my favorite experience of all of them. Storybook Dining is at Artist Point at the Wilderness Lodge, and this is a character dinner. The characters you get to see are Snow White, Dopey, Grumpy, and the Evil Queen. It is by far one of my favorite character meals for the atmosphere, and then the rarity of you don't get to meet villains very much at Disney. It is only available at dinner, and it is another hard-to-get reservation. It will run you at $65 per adult and $39 per child. The environment for this meal is absolutely beautiful. Can't say that enough. There are fairy lights in the ceiling. It's like you're in the enchanted forest. There is music, the characters coming around, the presentation of the desserts and the meal. It is just a great experience. The queen does not walk around the tables. You receive an invitation to meet the queen at the beginning of your meal, and then at the end of your meal, you get to go and meet her. You also get these little chocolates in a smoking box at the end of the meal, and these are the hunter's gift to the queen. This experience will cost you 2 table service credits on the new dining plan. Alright, now I'm going to talk to you about some of the new rides and experiences that I had at Disney this year. The newest ride at the Magic Kingdom, Tron, opened this year on April 4th. This ride is a copy of the popular attraction at Shanghai Disneyland. It is located in Tomorrowland and available via individual Lightning Lane and virtual queue. On this ride, you ride on a light cycle, which is a motorcycle style seating. The seats are not agreeable to all body types, but there is a modified seat at the very back of each ride vehicle that you can ride in if those seats do not work for you. This ride has a 48-inch height requirement. It is, in my opinion, much better at night and more fun towards the back of the ride vehicle. Now, I haven't ridden in the modified seat, but in the light cycle seat, I rode in the back row of the light cycle seats, and that was a lot of fun. And any belongings you have over the size of a cell phone have to go into a locker. There is a little teeny cubby at the front of the bike to store your cell phone in. The attraction I'm going to talk about is the newest attraction in Disney World and Epcot, and that is Journey of Water inspired by Moana. This opened in October of this year. It is a walkthrough attraction based on the movie Moana, and it is truly beautiful. It brings back some of the old Epcot edutainment, and it teaches you all about the water cycle. There are interactive fountains, jumping fountains. It is just amazing. It is much more beautiful at night, and I highly recommend doing it at night, but I could see it being good on a hot day as well to kind of cool off. There is a wet path and a dry path. I did the wet path. You don't get super wet. It's not like a Cali River Ride Rapids type situation. If you look around the stones throughout the attraction, you will see characters from Moana hidden in them. You will also see a 15-foot tall Tafiti. And at the time that I did the attraction, there was PhotoFast photographers. Another new experience I did at Disney this year, and something I've become addicted to, is the runDisney events. This year I did the Princess Sunrise Yoga, the Princess 5K, and the Food and Wine 5K. These events do come at an extra cost. These are kind of like a virtual queue in that you need to log in right at the time it's released to guarantee that you're going to get a spot. And then you may still not get a spot. If you do not get a spot during the virtual queue for the runDisney, you can also get a charity bib. And this is a great way to earn some money for your favorite charities. These bibs have certain amounts that you're committing to raise. There are also runDisney events at Disneyland in California, but I am only talking about the ones at Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida. Things to look into when registering for these events are the pacing requirements and also the costume guidelines. You can wear costumes, but there are certain rules that you have to follow. You will also need to see what time you need to go to the Expo Center to pick up your bib. The Expo Center is also where you will buy any of your runDisney merchandise that you want to get, but you need to keep in mind that this merchandise may be on a virtual queue as well. Also know that event times may run super early. For the most part, you're doing these events before the park even opens for the day. The Sunrise Yoga that I went to took place at the Magic Kingdom. This is an instructor-led yoga experience that occurs in front of Cinderella's castle. You have to be 10 years old to participate, and children under 14 must be accompanied by an adult. There is no food provided at this event, so to make sure you eat beforehand. The 2 5Ks that I participated in occurred in Epcot. These are some of the funnest 3.1 mile courses that you'll go on. There are character meetings scattered all along the way, and these are like rare characters, like you're meeting Duffy, the Queen of Hearts. There is also entertainment all around the way, like DJs and bands, the Jaminators, and you have these cast members that are all cheering you on. And at the end, you will receive your finisher medal. These events, I just can't get over the amount of encouragement that you get from the cast members, from spectators, from entertainers. It is just amazing and unreal. I really recommend these if you are a trained athlete, or if you're just getting started, or even if you aren't a runner, you could still do the 5K. One of the highlights of these experiences for me was the Candlelight Processional that's held at the International Festival of Holidays at Epcot. The Candlelight Processional was started at Disneyland by Walt Disney himself. This also occurs 2 nights a year at Disneyland, but for this video I'm referring to the one at Walt Disney World. This tells the story of Christmas and the birth of Jesus, and they have special narrators that come in. Typically these are celebrity narrators. Some of the ones that do it a lot are John Stamos, Neil Patrick Harris, and Marlee Matlin. Marlee Matlin is the one that I saw. It is truly beautiful. There is a chorus, there are people playing instruments. It can be very popular, and the night that I saw it, I almost didn't get to. I was one of the last people to get in, so you need to make sure that you go early. Also, if you're going when there's a really popular narrator, you might want to look into some of the dining options where you can get a meal and guaranteed seating. This one comes at a surprise to a lot of people, but 2023 was my first time ever seeing Happily Ever After. This is an extremely well-loved fireworks show that occurs at the Magic Kingdom. It originally debuted in 2017, and then it ended in 2021 with the 50th, and now it is back. The updated version came out in April of this year. The reason I had never seen Happily Ever After is I used to not go to Disney as much as I do now, and when I went during some of the specialty ticketed events that had their own special fireworks shows. This show is around 18 minutes long. It consists of fireworks and projection mapping on the castle and down Main Street. And typically, weather permitting, Tinkerbell flies during this show, which any fireworks show at Cinderella Castle with Tinkerbell flying is something I am going to love. You can watch it from many different places. Some people like to watch it from Fantasyland so that they kind of have the fireworks around them. You can watch it from some of the outdoor rides. You can see it from the Contemporary Resort, the Polynesian, different resorts around the Magic Kingdom. But the best place to watch it if you're really wanting to see the projections and the projection mapping is from Main Street, USA. At the time of me filming this is the nighttime show at the Magic Kingdom. However, if you go to the Magic Kingdom on nights that have after-hour events, they will be playing Happily Ever After and Disney's Enchantment. Last section of new things I've done in 2023 is some of the Disney resorts that I have stayed at for the first time. This year I stayed at both Port Orleans resorts, French Quarter and Riverside. The French Quarter is a moderate level resort, and it's just like how it sounds. It is themed after the French Quarter in New Orleans. The theming of this resort is amazing. I mean, you feel like you're in New Orleans. There is a really cool pool with a sea serpent water slide, which I may or may not have gone down a couple of times. They are home to the famous Mickey beignets, and these are an amazing treat. You have to try. I prefer this resort to Riverside just because it's a little bit smaller, and also it's where the beignets are. There are less recreational activities at French Quarter than Riverside, and there is transportation between the two resorts by bus and boat. There is also a walking path up the Sassagola River. Port Orleans Riverside is also a moderate level Disney resort. It is much larger than French Quarter. One big perk to Riverside though is if you're traveling with your dog, it does allow pets. Also, I mentioned that Riverside has more recreational activities than French Quarter. These include fishing, Surrey bikes, horse-drawn carriage ride. It has a main pool, 5 leisure pools, and a hot tub. Both Riverside and French Quarter have bus transportation to Disney Springs. Another resort that I stayed at for the first time in 2023 is Coronado Springs Resort. This is another moderate level Disney resort. Its theming is a mix between Spanish, Mexican, and Southwestern vibes. There are lots of nods throughout this resort to a film short that was made between Walt Disney and Dali Salvador. This has a wide variety of rooms with different price ranges. There's the Ranchos room, which is what I stayed in. It is kind of one of the cheaper level rooms. They have the Casitas, and then they also have the Gran Destino Tower. And you can go all the way up to club level rooms in the Gran Destino Tower. This resort has a ton of different dining options. I personally have never eaten at any of them, but they look wonderful. There are also a lot of hidden Mickeys throughout the resort, so make sure you keep an eye out for them whenever you're there. The only con I found to this resort was the sheer size of it and the fact that it only provides bus transportation to all the theme parks and Disney Springs. These were the 10 new things that I did in 2023. I've really enjoyed making these videos for my channel throughout this year, and I really appreciate all of your support. I hope that you continue to watch in 2024. I have a lot of fun things that I'm planning on doing, and I cannot wait to share those experiences with you. Thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it, and when you're watching my videos, make sure you remember to like, comment, subscribe to my channel, share my videos, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss future videos. Your support means the world to me. I'm wishing everyone a happy, healthy, and wonderful 2024.